Hey, what's on, guys? So I've got some big news for Young Justice Outsiders, or as it was previously known, Young Justice Season 3. So today we got our first official look at the character designs for Young Justice Outsiders for the show, along with how many episodes we'll be releasing. So first off, there will be a total of 26 episodes. 12 have scripts that are being worked on, 10 are in the works, 4 haven't been started yet. So all of this totals up to 26. So they pretty much had a panel at San Diego Comic-Con which gave us all this information. At the panel they started off with a recap video of the first 2 seasons, which will probably be released online at some point. And right here is the first image, our first official look at Young Justice Outsiders. So I think this specific image, they kind of just threw it in there because it looked cool. And it's in the same style as the Justice League Action title font. At the bottom you can see there's like subtitles, and it reads, "Tell me they don't have something to prove." And that just gets me so hyped up because I'm really curious as to who says that line, because I'm sure in the video that they showed at San Diego Comic-Con we could probably be able to tell who it was based on the voice if they had somebody say that. But if I really had to guess who it would be, I'd probably say it's probably one of the original 7 JL members. My guess it's either Batman or Superman. Or it could be Wally West, who knows. So I don't know. I just like little teasers like that. They just like have dialogue that really hint at certain things. I know this really doesn't hint at a lot of things, but it just gets me hyped up just to see that. So the next image is just showing off Superboy, Artemis, and Robin from the first season with text that's specific to each of the characters. Just a nice little piece of artwork they threw in there. Next is actually our look at the original designs that could have made it to the show in the first 2 seasons. And to be completely honest, I'm not really a huge fan of these designs. You know, they look more targeted towards a younger audience, and I don't know, some of these characters just look kind of feminine. Like Robin looks a little bit feminine, and then Superboy just looks kind of weird. So I'm kind of glad they didn't use these designs for the show. It kind of would have just, it wouldn't really match the tone of the show, in my opinion. And then right here, this is the image that we've all been waiting for, is a look at the newest designs for Young Justice Outsiders, along with a look at 3 new characters that we'll be getting on the show. So the designs compared to the first 2 seasons look slightly altered from the previous seasons, but nothing major. And then from left to right, the characters we have is Static, Kid Flash, Robin, Wonder Girl, Spoiler, Blue Beetle, 13 or Girl 13, Arrowette, Arsenal, and Beast Boy. So I've never really heard of some of these newer characters like 13 and Arrowette. I've never heard of these characters. But 13, based on the descriptions that I've read, 13 is basically, she's the newest addition to the DC universe, like even in the comics, and she's basically a magic user. So I'm really curious to see how that would play out. I wonder if she's gonna kind of go toe to toe with some of the other magic users like Clarion or Dr. Fate even. So we'll see. The other is Spoiler. I actually didn't know her by this name. I knew her by other names such as Stephanie Brown, also known as Robin for a short time, also known as Batgirl at one point. So this makes me really question as to when Young Justice Outsiders timeline is actually set, because if we're getting multiple Bat family members, it kind of makes me wonder if we're a lot further into the future. But then looking at these designs, it doesn't look like these characters have aged all that much. So I'd say probably over the course of a few years, not more than 5, probably less than 5, probably like 3 or 4. And then the next character is Arrowette. I don't know a lot about this character either, but her design looks pretty cool, and it looks kind of sort of similar to Artemis, just a little bit. Maybe it's just the face, I don't know. But I definitely think that she could act as like a rival for Tigress after Wally makes his return, which, let's be honest, is inevitable. You know, Wally definitely is gonna come back. They've said it in previous news. So I think that'd be kind of cool if she kind of worked as like a conflicting piece between Artemis and Wally at some point. But as for my overall thoughts on these actual designs, I think they look great. You know, everybody looks fairly close to their comic book counterpart, minus some few small exceptions. But in the end, all these character designs look great, and I'm super hyped for season 3. And in the next image, we have another look at these new designs. And here is a closer look at the newest characters from left to right. We have Arrowette, 13, and Spoiler. And then in the last but not least, we have another image that gives us a closer look at Artemis, aka Tigress, Nightwing, Aqualad, or I'm pretty sure that's Aqualad, and Superboy. Based on these designs, it looks like they're in some kind of like stealth mode kind of apparel, and which looks cool. You know, it's for a split second when I first saw that image, I thought these were all like League of Assassin members or something, and then I took a closer look and it's characters that we've already seen. But out of all the characters in this picture, I'd say Aqualad has definitely aged the most, you know, with the hair grown out and then the beard. Looks like a totally different character. And then next would probably be Superboy, who's aged, because just like the look on his face and his build looks a little bit bigger than the previous seasons. But I'm really curious as to why they showed these specific designs over just the original costume versions of these characters. Kind of makes me question if they're hinting at something like maybe, you know, there's going to be some kind of huge like stealth sequence / set of scenes in the first pilot episode of Young Justice Outsiders. And these are what they're going to look like in that stealth sequence. Or it just could be, you know, these could just be the newest designs, which is highly unlikely just because they don't have the logos on their chest and whatnot. My guess is that these are like the stealth mode versions of their costumes. And that's it, you know, that's all the information that we have for Young Justice Outsiders. Just a quick look at all the character designs and new characters that have been revealed, along with a 26 episode list. But that's all I've got for you guys, just a quick look at all the new character designs that they released for Young Justice Season 3, plus a look at the 3 newest characters that have been announced for Outsiders. If you enjoyed our video, remember to smack the like button, as always appreciated. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Also, if you're new, hit that subscribe button to see more content like this. I'll see you guys next time.